Under-elected official. All right, Mr. Commissioner. Under-elected official number 2.
Good evening, and I'm not going to delay. I appreciate the opportunity. I want to thank Reverend Prince because he told me about the meeting tonight while we were on the university's campus. We all know, we see the signs, we all know what's going on from our federal level all the way down to our local level. My thing is this, that we vote. Yes, I do hope and pray that you vote for me. I can say this, and I feel good being able to say it, that in the past 36 months, I've worked my tail off as commissioner to get some things done. We have a medical clinic in our county that we did not have before. A medical clinic that any of us can go to, regardless whether we have insurance or not, we have money or not. We can go to that clinic. That clinic is Hot Point right behind Brookshire Brothers there. Tried to get in the city, but we couldn't get the numbers to work as far as what was being asked for the property and what the grant. This grant is coming from Obamacare. That clinic is opened up on a grant from President Obama's office, and we had so much money that we could work with. But we were able and blessed to get it just 5 miles down the road. Our roads, I've been blessed and worked with some good people in the county, Road and Bridge, to where they have put our roads up on top of, and some of our roads up on top of the list. When I came in, one of our major roads that we had, which was Muse Road, was always tearing up, always breaking up. We went through and repaired it, and repaired up the other roads in our city, well, County Precinct 3. In Monaville also, roads down there. Owens Road, we have Owens Road on the list, but I asked them to hold up on Owens Road for the simple reason we're getting ready to get Jones Elementary. And I did not want them to come in and do the road, and then we got everything coming through. Once Jones is in here, then the road will, I promise you, the road will be repaired. It'll be repaired for the new business center along Owens Road right there for the university, where there's a safe turning lane to turn in and come out, and also for our Jones Elementary. I want to say thank you to Reverend Dr. Michael Prince and the job that he has done. I had an opportunity to sit on the board with several other citizens as we went through looking at the improvements that we needed for Waller Independent School District. And Dr. Prince was very instrumental in ensuring and making sure that we got Jones back into our community. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of stuff coming this way. As a matter of fact, it's here. You just don't see it. But I guarantee you it's going to be built. As you look east of us, you see the Daikin plant that they're building. That's the largest plant in the nation. The largest plant in the nation that does the type of service that it does. That's 900 acres underneath one roof. They were starting out with 4,000 people. I think they've increased it to about 4,500 people starting out. Within a 3 to 5 year period, that plant is going to have 6,000 people working out. That's bigger than our whole city. 6,000 people. Ladies and gentlemen, we get an opportunity to enjoy the spoils that's come from that, because people are going to need those service businesses. They're going to need the homes to live in. Pulte Homes right now is looking at a nice swath of land to where they want to come in and build. That was one reason why I asked about our credit union being able to finance homes. I also have the wonderful opportunity to sit on the Southeast Texas Housing Finance Corporation. We had a meeting today, and we're trying to pull in more entities like our credit union that can finance homes for individuals to have affordable living. And I'm talking about affordable living, not low income, but affordable living. So with that, our community center, ladies and gentlemen, they poured the foundation for our community center. One thing that held our community center up is that we got very, very concerned with the bond
Yeah.
that yes, sir, that the company that was building the community center with the bond that they had. We knew what was happening in our city, whether you agreed with it or not, that's not the issue, but I, as commissioner, did not want to have to go through with our city leaders and everybody else is having to go through behind our city hall. We made sure that the construction company, which is Hills Construction, it's a local construction company right here in Wallen County, made sure that they upped their bond. We made them get an additional $1 million bond to protect the community center. And with that being said, they had to go around and find a bonding company that was going to reissue a bond for a product that was already on yes, sir, that was already there. Because that other bonding company, the second bonding company, is taking a chance on what's already been placed on the ground. But we got it done. And as you can see, the community center is moving forward. I'm also working on a public defender's office with Commissioner Rodney Ellis. He so graciously came down 2 weeks ago and spoke to Commissioner's Court in reference to helping me develop and initiate a public defender's office here in our county. Public defender's office for all those who cannot afford proper representation, in which we all are entitled to. God forbid, Lord Jesus, God forbid, but if something major was to happen to my daughters and they needed an attorney, we would have to hot sale and everything to make sure they can get a Dick DeGuerin or a Michael DeGuerin, you know, to ensure that they get a proper defense. So, public defender's office. Also working on getting our transportation back, the bus service that we used to have years ago. Working with Colorado Valley Transit, helping them secure grants and helping to where the county put some money into this pot to get our bus service back. And also working on some type of way where we can address our mentally ill. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of mentally ill folks in our county.
Start right here.
Yeah, well, I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you because this stuff will make me go crazy. You know, and our jail system in which, you know, our jail system does from time to time is being used as a housing for our mentally ill because we don't know what else to do with it. You know, we don't know what else. So we send them through the 72-hour process, hoping that 72-hour process, they get what they can get, and then guess what? They right back out again. But we need to find these people help. It's our responsibility. I do believe that God has placed us to be our brother's keeper, regardless. So we have to find out, and we have to try to do something. We're giving all this money as a county to all these different entities outside of Wallen County. I'm saying, dadgummit, let's take that money. We're giving $15,000 here, $5,000 here, $10,000 there to United Way and all these other organizations. Let's take that money. If we're going to have a United Way, let's have a United Way here in Wallen County. And let's put all that money back into Wallen County, our Meals on Wheels programs and things of that nature. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm working hard. I'm not one that pick up a picket sign and announce what I do. I just get it done. And in getting it done, you see it done, so you know that it is being done. So I'm asking for all of you all's continued support. Voting is tomorrow at St. Francis from 12 to 8. We got some crazy hours this year, you all on voting. We should have had it 7 to 7 that everybody's used to, but that's okay. It's political time. People do weird things and have strange bedfellows when it comes down to politics. But it's from 12 tomorrow noon to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Those of you who have voted, thank you. Whether you voted for me or not, thank you just for the process. Many have pioneers in here have endured and insured so that we have that opportunity. And then Tuesday is the last day for early voting, and it's going to be at our own city hall. So spread the word, please. I would love to have the opportunity to continue to work for you. And I'm open for any questions. I'll answer any questions that you have. And other than that, thank you very much, and God bless each and every last one of you. I love you. I love Prairie View. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on a rocket ship ride moving straight up. And so this is why it's important to have those that are going to be leaders on our government body to make sure that we get these things done.
Any questions? Okay.
Well, a lot of the stuff I talk about and I pursue in the city of Prairie View, I've seen most of these gentlemen at the men's breakfast, and so mostly they know what kind of person I am and how direct I am and how aggressive I am when I'm pursuing something. But I'm going to watch my tone with you ladies in the room and watch my words. But what the majority of what you said or what you spoke about there, Commissioner, I do appreciate what you said, because those are concerns for the whole county and those are concerns for Prairie View. And I want to hold your feet to the fire, and I'm not here to blast you, because I don't think personal character, attacking someone's personal character is anything worth anything, because what you do is a very difficult job. And I appreciate that, because you are a public servant, and it is very hard to do it. But my concern is that all those things that you mentioned about, particularly the indigent population, that's mostly Waller County, but mostly in Prairie View, and that mentally ill population and that drug addicted population is in Prairie View. And we have a lot of crime and a lot of drug abuse in our community. And it's like whoever becomes mayor and our city council and whoever fills out our government, our local government here, I know you will, so it's not even worth saying, but try to get a relationship that's available to the public. And what I mean by that is you've made yourself accessible tonight for us to ask questions and then to bring the message to us. What we need in order to make you more successful and to make our community more accessible is if that our local government, our mayor and our council people and those who are in the city hall make themselves more available to us. And so I appreciate what you said, and then it's like your job as county commissioner, I think we've had private talks about this, your job with our mayor can strengthen our community. Now, you out there doing what you do on the county level, and he's doing what he does on the locally level, but they're never syncing at the same time, because we would love to help you. We'd love to, if you said, hey, you know what, they've got this thing over here that's going to impact the Waller County, and we need the Prairie View folks to represent. We would love to come out and represent you. And the same with like when Dr. Prince was talking about the school district and what was happening at the school board. He didn't have that backing because in my opinion, because our local government didn't allow him to disseminate that information. If he could have came to the city council and all the council jumped on and said, hey, we need the support of the community, I think more people would have been out there for Dr. Prince, and more of us would be out there for you. And see, a lot of us really aren't against you personally. It's just that in our community, we see resources leaving, like our community center. We don't have the medical, we don't have the resources to address a lot of these indigent, the poverty, the low economic issues we have. And you can do so much. But our local government has to work with you to kind of bring this whole community together, because we'll follow our elected officials if they ask. And that's the way Prairie View is. When Sandra Bland situation occurred, the community came together behind it. When there are some other issues that arise and we need to be together, we come together as people. We put our differences aside. And so what you just talked to us about, I appreciate you bringing it to us, and I look forward to, if you are reelected, I look forward to you coming back in and us coming up there to help you, because we come to that commissioner's court and it looks ridiculous. Because half of us are talking about black issues and half of us are talking about nonsense. If we came together as a community and, and said, hey, those when that Commissioner 3, raises the horn, Prairie View stands up. That would be a more representable force for us. And I think that would make your job less difficult. And so, good luck to you on your race, and I appreciate you expressing your ideas and your thoughts with us tonight.
Thank you.
You next.
Absolutely.
Okay, any other questions? We got another candidate just walked in.
Mr. Hicks, I hate to eat and run, but I got to eat and run.
Okay.
Thank you very much. God bless you. I'm here for you all. You just let me know what you need from me, and I'll do whatever I can to help wherever I can.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Comment.
God bless.
Okay, we have one more here. We have Mr.
Oh, Candace
Well-
speaking.
You said one more, we got two more.
Okay. Well, the mayor says that race is coming up.
Oh,
Go
okay.
to go ahead, since we was on commission, just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in all of it.
Well, I can,
Yeah.
my record speaks for itself.
Right.
So what I'll say for county commissioner, since that's the only election going on right now, there are 4 candidates in the race. We had a good candidates forum last 2 weeks ago, and we're still moving forward. As you know, early voting has moved forward.
Whose phone is that?
How much more time that gonna ring?
Yeah, do something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's his one. I thought it was yours. I was like, Freddie, you go.
My phone is turned off.
You
I
gonna
come
just
to
let
me.
that-
I turned mine on.
So one, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak to you. Since half of you have already voted, there's an opportunity for me to gain the support of a few in the room. What I will say as far as running for county commissioner is that I think I have the experience, leadership to transition this community what they needed a county commissioner. The county is facing some major things as far as economic development. We've moved forth with supposedly temporary staying this landfill issue, but who knows if it may raise its head again. The Waller County expects to expand a jail. They were cited in their jail standards, and so I want criminal justice reform. Some of the things that I talked about at the forum. From that, we get into Waller County. County commissioners should be asking for reports on on things that are going on in the jail. The jail is a property, or jail is part. The county jail is a part of the responsibility, not only as the sheriff who reports to Commissioner's Court, and needs to be representative of this community. As many of you know, there was another incident in Waller County with the Waller County Sheriff and 2 students at Prairie View. Again, when are we going to get the respect that we deserve? And hopefully, I don't know if Mr. Barnett talked about that, right? Because I was not here, but hopefully he did and shed some light. Because at least he should have 2 or 3 questions that he sent forth to the county judge asking for some information. And so I'm not saying that we all know Commissioner's Court, you need a second to do anything, and you need to have relationships. It can't be a one-man show, but you need to be putting forth the effort to, 1, act or understand or like you know what you're doing, 2, be able to be responsive to and communicate to the community. We can go through what I've been involved in, what I've done, making lemonade out of water, sugar, and lemons. We have very few organizations and many people not engaging, and then people looking on the sideline talking about, well, you ain't doing nothing. Well, if you was helping, maybe we would be doing something, right? And so, having been a member who have moving forth young people in this community, where we're at, volunteering with the fire department, trying to create business and economic development, and have my own business here in this community. those are the things that I'm not just talking about. Those are the things that I'm doing. And so hopefully my experience in leadership will show for that. And many people, I'm just asking for the opportunity to continue to serve you. I will be a servant whether I have the title or not. My record shows that. That's that's all. I mean, again, we talk about voting rights. Voter rights for Prairie View wasn't just for Prairie View students. It was for the Prairie View community. It was for the state of Texas. When I was one of 3 students who filed a lawsuit in 2004, my name is on the documents for students' right to vote. 11 years later, students actually now get the opportunity to vote during early voting on campus, but that didn't just impact Prairie View students. That impacted the way people were treated in Precinct 3, period. 309 and 310. And so when you look at the example that they use in Section 5, that's Prairie View example for when they reauthorized the Voting Rights Act in 2006. I'm not telling you nothing you don't already know, but we're talking about the magnitude of what people are doing. Some people say that they're doing something, and you ask them, well, show me. They can't show you anything. How anybody got 35-year experience, you ask them to point to something that they did in Prairie View then. Can't show you nothing. Right? And so, I just ask for your vote and your support. Voting for me is the beginning part, so I want that. But the second part is helping me to pull together a plan to be able to voice our thoughts. I have my thoughts on what I would do, but I definitely want our thoughts on how we want our community to move forward. I have a plan on economic development. Waller County, so this is the research. Waller County doesn't have a 24-hour Walmart. Not just Prairie View, Waller County. Waller County doesn't have a 3-star hotel, but the Holiday Inn. Waller County. So when you look across the board, we talk about how do we have a conversation about economic development when we don't have the necessary tools in the county. The businesses that are brought in through Waller County Economic Development Partnership, is it because it's a county entity? Are they exclusively picking other locations over the other? So it's about being able to have someone who has the knowledge and information to be able to bring all parties together to say, okay, you may get 5 businesses on this side of town, but we need you to pitch some proposals over here. Why does Waller County and Prairie View not engage in the stadium development or any business development idea in that particular area? If you're familiar with Harris County, you look at Toyota Center, you look at the Astrodome, you think that was the city of Houston only? That was Harris County and their taxing authority that generated money, revenue. But you would have to know something about it for it to be an issue. So again, that's why I think you should vote for me for county commissioner. Thank you.
Okay. Now, any questions?
I do.
Okay.
How do you make sense of it that you're in the election for the county commissioner and you're also in the election for the mayor?
Because
How does the voter make sense of that?
I don't know. I don't know how a voter makes sense of that. You're either going to vote for me or you're not. And so last time I checked your voter registration, you were registered at a property that the city owns. So when you talk about you specifically, I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay.
All I will say is that I'm currently running for county commissioner.
But I do have a vote. I
you
can
do.
vote,
Yeah,
and I
you
am
can
still a
vote.
voter.
And yeah,
okay,
you are.
and so I'm
you-
asking you, how do you square that circle?
I'm telling you.
You're in two races
I'm
right
giving you
now.
the
How
answer.
does that? Do you believe you're going to
Do
lose?
you want to answer for me? Or do you want to
Absolutely.
hear my answer?
Help me understand that.
Do you want to hear my answer?
Absolutely. I don't want to be attacked for asking the question though. So if you would give me an answer.
Answer to your question.
Yes.
I'm running for county commissioner.
Absolutely.
All right.
You do not have my vote, sir.
I didn't have your vote to begin with.
Yes, you did. You had the
okay.
opportunity to
Okay.
get my vote right there, sir. See,
Okay.
that's the whole point, Mr. Brian Rowland. I am not looking to antagonize anybody. I want a true representative.
Okay.
If you're not a true representative, I can't.
Mr.
I'm not
Larry,
gonna. I'm not
you've
gonna.
seen
I'm
my
not-
work. So
No, I have
you-
not seen your
so-
work. I've
so-
seen your name in
Okay.
positions.
Uh-huh.
I know that you've held positions on the city council. You held positions at the credit union, and you hold a position here, which you walked out on as our vice president. You walked out.
Right.
I mean, how can you responsibly say that you're going to represent me when you're walking out of the room when you're supposed to be representing? That's the only question. I mean, get down to the nitty gritty of it.
have another
There's
question?
no animosity towards you.
I don't have
I just
anything
want a
towards
fair
you.
representation. I'll tell
I
you.
just said I'm
and
currently
see,
running for county commissioner.
absolutely.
That's all.
And one more thing.
Yes, sir.
How could you be filing a lawsuit for Mr. Johnny Miller's position as position 1 on the city council? So this position 1, if you would have won that lawsuit, you would have been back at city council position 1 right now.
No, that's not what the lawsuit said. The lawsuit, let me clarify. The lawsuit was because Mr. Jonathan Miller was not a registered voter or registered in Waller County or Prairie View prior to running for election.
Right. So you filed a lawsuit with no intentions of actually serving at that position had you won? If you won that
The lawsuit had
lawsuit.
nothing to do with me. It had to do with the person running for office not having the credentials or being qualified to actually even be in the election.
So that's your
it.
job. That's
Yeah.
your job. You're
Thank
making
you.
sure everyone's qualified to run, and you're running in multiple races.
President, give about 2 or 3 minutes on the mayor's race. You know, say something about the mayor's race. Before you talk to that, Mr.
Larry.
Larry, would you like to go first, or should I continue in this reign? Absolutely. My name is James Larry, and I'm going to bring it to the forefront because I believe I may receive a lawsuit from Mr. Brian Rowland also. And I want to let you know the residency requirements is what you're going to ask me about. Where do I live and what's going on with my residency, and now do I live in Prairie View? I've been in Prairie View since I was 19 years old. I came here as a student, and I've been here in this community serving it, not just Prairie View, the community of Prairie View, but the community of Waller. And I'm an American Legion legionnaire, and I've done a bunch of stuff in the city of Prairie View and Waller County to assist Waller County and the city of Prairie View. If you want to know where I live, ask me privately and personally. If you don't believe I live in the city of Prairie View, file your lawsuit. But I'm running for the city of Prairie View mayor position because I believe that it's time for us to stand up as an intelligent group of folks. We've not demonstrated our ability to be, how do you say, leaders in our own community. We have not made our own footprint as economic leaders in our own community. For the last 20 years I've been in this community, I've seen people run for positions, get positions, and then when they're done, we're left either in the same position that we were economically and socially, or we're in a worse position. And see now, what's happening in our city, we've had the turnover or the loss of Mr. Simeon Queen, Mr. Lee Van Richardson, Mr. Joe Diamond, Mr. It will soon be Mr. Frank Jackson and Mr. Herbert Thomas. Those 5 gentlemen were in position for a reign of collectively 12 years. And look at our city. We still have infrastructure problems. We still have drug abuse, drug problems in our community. We still have high crime problems, and we still have a disenfranchised group of young folks that are in the Prairie View campus that don't understand their involvement in our community. When Miss Sandra Bland was kidnapped and murdered in our community, our local officials didn't stand up for her and fight for her. When the young students that you just mentioned happened on Sunday, I called all of our elected officials except for Ms. Paulette Barnett, and I don't have her number, but no one has an explanation. And see, if we can get Mayor Jackson and Mayor Wolf, Michael Wolf of Hempstead, to say there's no racism in Waller County, then we've got problems. Because there is an issue with racism. Now, the Commissioner Barnett was talking about the problems he has and the difficulty he has, but he's one black man with 3 other county commissioners and a white county judge. He's got an uphill battle because of that. And if we showed support, if we came together as a community, that is one of my goals, to bring us together as a community. If he had the support of our community, his job would be a lot easier, and we would come together and shine as a community as God would have us. I am the way I am because God made me this way. I have no personal qualms with anybody. Mr. Brian Rowland, I have no problems with you. Mr. Frank Jackson, I have no personal problems with them. But we as a community do not get justice. We do not get equality on any level as compared to the folks in Hempstead, Waller, or any other county that's touching Waller County. And another one of my goals as mayors, as the mayor, once I become mayor, is to establish a functioning government in the city of Prairie. And what I mean by that is have city council members, have a mayor that each citizen can voice their opinion or their complaint to, and then have it addressed and resolved. Like right now, you can't make an appointment to see a city council member because there are no full-time city council members. They don't have office hours. Right now, you cannot make an appointment to see your mayor because he doesn't have office hours, nor does he work full-time in the city of Prairie View. That needs to change. If you have an absentee government that you cannot reach, for, especially during the work hours, how can we function? Right now, the city is trying to backpedal and try to make amends for the infrastructure issues that we have, like the water issues we have, like the public safety issues we have, like the economic development issues we have. Out of all the stuff that we have going on in the city, how many viable jobs has the Economic Development Committee established? They've given out loans, they've given out money, and they've done a few things, but how many jobs are being created by our Economic Development Committee in our own city? And that's the question, and that's what we need to resolve. We can create jobs here if we had the government to do it. And not just having the government, but making demands from our local government, the county commissioner, the state government, and the federal government. We don't do those things. And so we don't have an infrastructure that can support our community and make it grow or help it grow. And pretty much that's my intent, and that's who I am, and this is the persona that I bring to the city, because I don't believe we should be passive and not address issues. We should identify our issues, come together as a community, and get to work to solve them. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Two questions. One, what is one project or one thing you've done in this community, and you've actually executed something that is to the standard in which you want everybody else to do? What is that one thing?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Rowland, I have a cynical comment, which is I've helped eradicate the unethical, immoral elected officials that I named off first of all. Second of all, I'm the president of the Waller County Farmers and Ranchers Cooperative, in which we are bringing the local farmers in this area, which I think Prairie View was established by 13 families who farmed. So I brought those folks together, and right now, we are working with Prairie View A&M University to enhance these farmers as businessmen in the area of agribusiness.
Thank you.
We are teaching them, educating them, and training them to become better farmers. In fact, there was a watermelon workshop that was held last week that I think a majority of the farmers were invited to, who came out and were trained on how to become better watermelon farmers.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much, Mr.
Absolutely, sir.
The next one we have Dr. Prince. If you please.
All right. Well, good evening, and thank you all for this opportunity. Did I give you one of these, sir? Okay. I will be very brief and quick. I too am running for the office of mayor for the city of Prairie View. What I've given you is just a brief outline of my service just in Prairie View alone, or within the Waller County area alone, since 1990. I've always been one to support and undergird and work in regards of building a community. Even if I agree to disagree with the policies and procedures, or even the personalities for that matter, I've made it a personal effort that I would show the dignity and the decorum that this city is proud to be a part of and affiliated with. And I'm a current 3-term elected official for Waller County, or not Waller County, but Waller ISD School Board. And for those who have voted for me to be there, I thank you very much. I will go. I made a couple of notes listening to my other two constituents here, and I'll talk about the economic development. I serve as vice president on economic development. One thing that my understanding about economic development is that we are to support and give resources if they qualify for resources to businesses. And the question was raised, what has economic development done to create jobs? Well, if you go down the list, there have been several jobs that have come, but it's not economic development's job to keep those businesses open. Those that open those businesses have to have the foresight and the business planning to make sure that those businesses stay open. You know, that's just like blaming me for not having curly, or blaming my mom and daddy for not having curly hair. It's just not part of it. You know, no, and I didn't say that as a joke, but what I'm saying is, as an economic, I am very proud of the work that we've done, because we talk about the projects that have been supported and funded. Majority of them have come from economic development. Okay, you talk about every piece of work that is done. We have gone through meticulously to make sure that we were going to govern the tax dollars that the people of the Prairie View community are deserving to know and be accountable for where and how their money is going. So I have no qualms with my service on economic development. We talk about race. Racism is going to always be a part of life. It is what it is, and therefore it's going to be what it's going to be. So my question and my approach is, I know I'm black and I know my back is up against the wall, so I've been trained that I must work harder, work smarter, and be more precise when I know that I'm dealing with opposition. And I've chose to do that, and I've proven that, working 6 years to keep Jones Elementary in Prairie View when the constituents that I sit on that board with purposely wanted to build that school on the east side of the district because, quote unquote, there's nothing happening in Prairie View. Why should we build a $30 million school in a community that has nothing going on? And going back and forth because we're taxpayers, and this could help stimulate the economic development that is needed, because what happens when a school comes, it does open up other job opportunities. When a school comes, it could lead to rooftops being come. When the rooftops come, it can open up opportunities for other businesses to be developed and be a part of it. So with all of that being said, I believe that I'm the best person for this job at this season. And I'll finish this part up, and I'll take whatever questions you have, because I don't just talk. I don't try to talk a whole bunch, but I want to, keep it open and going. I would ask this question, and I've even shared this with Mr. Rowland. Personally, I think that we are a community that has become the laughingstock of the state of Texas. And I think it's time that we as citizens take our city back. And I'll ask the question, how was government formed? Government was formed off the shoulders of Jesus Christ, according to Isaiah 9:6. And the problem that I see from outside looking in is that we've had political people operating in authority that was established on a spiritual nature. We've tried politicians' way time after time again. I would like the opportunity as a servant, and I mean that in the most humble way possible, to serve this community in the position of mayor. Because we've tried the politicians' way, let's try the way that the Lord has ordained this thing to be. Thank you.
Any questions?
I got a comment and a question.
Okay.
First, the comment, you just said that we need to take our city back. That's what I meant by those folks that we just got off of our city council the last, including Mr. Rowland. We fought to get those people out of there. And for Mr. Jackson to step down and say he's not running, that is a victory, which is causing democracy to happen. Myself, like, you would have never run if Frank Jackson was still running. And you've never ran against Frank Jackson. And see, that's what I'm saying. This is good that you're in here because we've got more democracy now. But we have been trying to take our city back for 10 years now, at least. And there have us been fighting. I've gotten a name for James is a disruptor, but that's what it takes to disrupt and get them to go. And Mr. Herbert Thomas, he said he was going to be a lifetime city council member and one day be mayor. That's all changed now. We've got a new day on our hands. We've got 4 candidates running for mayor. That's democracy. That was my comment. But my other statement was, what about the economic development? It's called economic development, not economic lending. Economic development means that you are supporting these organizations, these businesses that you're giving them money to ensure that they have a viable chance of staying in business and then hopefully repaying that money back to our community. So what we have right now in the city of Prairie View is the economic lending, where we don't have a full economic committee. We don't have a full economic body to do the economic development that we need in this city. We're just economically lending right now to failing businesses.
So you would like me to answer those?
Well, no, you don't have to answer. I just want
I mean, but I would love to.
Absolutely. Respond, please.
Okay.
Please. I love the dialogue. And see, yes, please, in a Christian way. Please. Please.
The first thing that you spoke of as far as the economic development lending business, neither one of us have a crystal ball, okay, on if a business is going to make it or not.
Absolutely.
That's why people deal with people. People give to people.
Absolutely.
So if a person has a legitimate plan
Absolutely.
and they have a legitimate need,
Absolutely.
we legitimately endorse them
Okay.
according to the bylaws of Economic 4B. Okay, so therefore, if it looks like lending, then so be it.
Okay.
That's just the nature of the beast. Now, we can agree to disagree all day long,
Right.
and Lord knows I've agreed to disagree with everything. But would you agree that there's a right and a wrong way to do everything?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my thing is, being on the school board for Waller ISD, I know personally
Right.
that the city of Waller and the Waller ISD school board fight like cats and dogs, but you never, ever hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem that I have as a black man,
Absolutely.
a proud black man, is that we lower and beat ourselves, and then the minute that someone who does not look like us go on attack, we cry racism. We cry anti-black and this, that, and the other. Well, charity begins at home.
Yes, sir.
And if we are going to take care of home, then it starts with me standing by. I could dissect each and every one of us, including myself, on what I don't do right. But if I don't have a solution, then I'm part of the problem.
That's it.
Amen.
Okay, and I'd like to say one more thing. We don't have crystal balls, but I do have a MBA, and I'm ABD with my doctorate in management. And so I know there are financial tools that you can assess each business with, starting with like a SWOT analysis. So if
Yes,
you did
sir.
a SWOT analysis on the businesses that were trying to get a loan from you, you could evaluate them and say, hey, these are your strengths, your weaknesses, and these are the threats that you have to understand. And so you don't need a crystal ball to see if they're going to be successful, but if you put them under the analysis of financial analysis, you can say to them, hey, that's the same way the credit union does with its lenders. Hey, this is how we're going to do this in our city. You're not just going to look at a crystal ball, but we need to get the financial tools for the Economic Development Committee. They need to implement those tools. I mean, you guys are guessing. That's why I called it economic.
Difference. And that's,
No, I did not interrupt neither one of you guys. Please, I mean, let's be
And that will be
respectful.
my last response to them.
Okay, now, speaking of SWAT, I've run a pest control business from 1994 to 2009. Hold on, I did not interrupt you. We're talking about SWAT. I've run a radio station since 2002. So I understand what SWAT is all about, and I understand strengths and weaknesses. Now, when you're talking about making loans or rejecting whatever the case may be, we have bylaws and advice from attorneys that we must follow. And if the attorneys do not approve a certain project, then we are at obligation to take the advice of that attorney. So as far as SWATs, I'm quite familiar with that. As a matter of fact, I just completed a SWAT. I do a SWAT once a year for my business and for my church. So I understand wholeheartedly, and I do too. I'm educated as well. I have a master's in counseling. I have a doctorate in ministry. So, I mean, and that's been part of the problem of the community. We are pseudo-smart. We're pseudo-smart.
Right.
We're smart people,
Right.
but we cannot get together. We're not smart enough to come together with a solution to where we are not being the laughing stock of the state of Texas. I have had to come and defend this city,
Right.
because of what the antics that are going on in this city. You all don't know what I've had to deal with personally, and you're talking about the love that you have. Hold on, Mr. Larry, I never did interrupt you. You talk about the love that we have for this community. I've not seen one person from Prairie View city limits at a Waller Independent School District meeting, and I've been elected 3 terms. 3 terms. When they were talking about, I'm talking to students on campus, and the misinformation that they're getting is that Waller ISD wants to shut down Jones, and that's where it finishes. And then when I asked them the facts, I said, well, ma'am, could you even name who the board members are? Do you even know who a board member is? I said, do you realize that I'm a board? I did not know that. I did not know that. So if we're going to get the information out to the people, at least let's get them the right information. That's all I'm saying. Is we ought to be tired of people. They're chucking at us. They're eroding away our city limit lines. They're growing to the east of us. They're growing to the west of us, and we're steady in-house fighting.
yes, sir.
Were you to come?
I think we need.
But I'm good.
Okay, any other questions that you would like to ask Dr. Prince? If there's no more questions, we'll move right on to Ms. Rowland.
Oh, as far as mayor, I am not talking about my mayor candidacy until after March 2nd, and so I will pass.
Okay, thank you. There's any other questions?